24 to order for the Municipal Building Committee. First thing is public forum. Seeing nobody here for public forum. Next thing is a review of the past meeting minutes from, we have November 14th, 2024. Do we have a motion to accept? Pete, accept?
I'll move the minutes of
Pete
the
moved.
meeting.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Ian, second. Any comments or corrections?
I just had one minor correction, I think, and I don't have it in front of me, but it said that the select board declined or voted against the project going forward. It should have been the town that voted against.
Yeah.
We make that one correction then. Okay, with that correction, are there any others? We seeing none, all those in favor? Unanimous. Okay. Next thing is the Forbes closeout project. Christie, do you want to talk, or should I just defer to Peter?
I think you can defer to Peter. It's probably easier to hear him.
Okay, Peter.
Great.
Floor is yours.
Okay. Well, thank you. Good morning, everybody. So on the Forbes Municipal Building Project, can you hear me? There's been 24 change orders prior to the one we're going to discuss and consider this morning, which is change order 25. So there's been a monetized punch list. There's been some negotiations and some completion of the punch list activities between the town and the company, Five Star Building Company. At the end of the day, the result is there's a credit change order being provided to the town on the Forbes Building Project from the contractor, Five Star, in the amount of $102,271.92. That's change order 25 for consideration this morning, which will then close the project out, the monetized punch list. The activities on the project and the negotiations between the town and the contractor have been completed, and this will wrap up the project and shut down the project as far as Five Star Contracting is concerned. This should finalize their project.
Peter, do we have any open invoices from previous or anything?
Not that I'm aware of. All the ones that I've seen have been processed and paid and distributed. So,
All right. Christie or Ian?
Yeah, I mean, this, as you said, this closes it out, so it's a credit back to the town funding. So no further invoices from Five Star. They've agreed that this is it. Provided us all the required documents that they're required to give us, and then reviewed. So,
Christie?
Yeah, nothing to add. This would just close out the project. I think we spent a lot of time going through over the last couple of years what might be outstanding, and so this would close out that project. I do think at a future meeting I could bring back. I believe that there's also borrowing authorization available on the project in addition to this credit that we would receive. So I'll let the Municipal Building Committee know about that, but that would just be something that we would bring to a future town meeting to rescind borrowing authorization because the project's closed out.
Okay, thank you, Christie. Okay, so do we need a motion to accept change order 25 and then to vote on that? Okay, do we have a motion?
I have a question.
Yes, Peter.
This 102, whatever, is this about what we were looking for, or is this different from what we were looking for?
no, it's exactly what we were looking for.
Okay. I'll move the motion.
Okay, Pete made a motion to accept change order 25.
I had one question. I presume we spent lawyer fees trying to settle this. Do they get charged to this project, or do they get charged to the overall account?
They just are charged to our legal budget, but yeah, they're not charged to the project.
Is there an opportunity, if there's money left over, is there an opportunity to charge it to this project?
I guess I could look. I mean, it's previous fiscal year bills that we've paid, so I'd have to go back and look, Rod. I can report it back at the next meeting.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have a second to Peter's motion?
Second.
Second for Ian. Any further questions, comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? 5 being present, unanimous. Okay. That closes out the Forbes building. Yay.
About time.
Only took, what, about 7 years, 8 years?
Can I just add just to Rod's question, I just want to be clear also that whenever we do a project, the legal fees are not charged to the project. They're charged to the legal account. And I know that there's more questions here about that, so I'm happy to report back, but just wanted to be clear that all of our building projects, any legal review is charged to our legal budget.
Yeah, I mean, I think, just from my perspective, I'd like to see the charges charged to where they apply. And I don't think it's unusual to charge things like that to a project.
Okay. Okay. Is there anything further we need to discuss on this?
Just to know that Five Star is no longer eligible for any state business.
Okay.
Not on the list.
Way back when I first got on the committee, we used to have to fill out a form after a project was completed and then rate. the
Contractor evaluate, yeah.
Have we done that? Because if we have, I don't remember it.
It was usually done on behalf of the OPM.
Oh, I thought
Now
we
that we're done,
had to sit here
now that
and
we're done, we can
put our
conclude
little
that.
doodles down.
We do that, but as Ian mentioned, they're no longer.
Oh, no, I
certified.
understand that, but 4 years ago, 3 years ago, whenever the project was mostly done and then we went into litigation, I never remember discussing the rating. But on other projects, I remember discussing the ratings.
Correct, and it's traditionally concluded when the contract is complete. So like a filed sub-bid contractor or general contractor or contractor at risk, you do them when the project's finalized. Now that we have essentially finalized this contract with Five Star, we can do a final rating.
Which
but it might be a
goes
moot-
nowheres because they're not here.
It's relatively going to be a moot point with them no
I
longer
like
doing
moot points.
contractor DCAM work, so.
I'd like to thank Peter Collins for walking us through this process all the way through the end. Peter, thank you very much.
Thank you,
I
Peter.
do appreciate
Sure,
that.
no problem. Appreciate
Okay.
it. Thank you.
Chrissy, are you going to see a need for us to meet another time in December, or can we wait till January?
There might be a need. I don't know, Ian, if you want to speak to the board's discussion on Tuesday night, but essentially the board will decide on December 3rd how they want to time the community center project. And so there might be a need for the municipal building committee to meet, but if you want to wait until after that meeting, we can reach back out, or if you want to set a tentative date.
Yeah, I mean, nothing more to add. We talked about it in our last meeting about timing related to the library project and the community center project and potential of delaying somewhat on the community center project so we can utilize community center space for the temporary library space, just because of the price that came in from the one bidder when they were looking at, where they could temporarily locate was, I think, $680,000 was the quote they got for that. So I think utilizing town space and saving that money is probably a wise decision. So, but we had those discussions, but we'll finalize it at our next meeting. So,
And I believe there's a December 3rd
yeah,
walkthrough and meeting over at the rec center.
correct, with the library.
So, and everybody's invited to that meeting if you want. We just won't be able to discuss anything, otherwise we have a quorum present.
Ian, if that was to happen, who would be responsible for the design of the temporary space? Would it be the rec center architect or the library architect?
I would imagine it would be the library architect. But that's one of the questions is what we discussed is whether it's all around timing about, whether we delay but still may start construction or try to move forward. I mean, again, the town meeting has to vote for us to move forward. But if, for example, the plan right now is to go to March with both projects. If we final decision made to delay, question is, does it just move till September? And then if we went to our October town meeting and then we would start construction, then we would need to do some things with, for example, the dividing walls, because we would just locate them in the back of the building. If we decide to go longer, perhaps they would put them in the front of the building because we're not going to do it. So I think the space they have will come from their architect. The question is whether we'll need our architect to do some things because of the time, whatever timing we decide. I think the other piece that Christie and I have talked about, but the full board hasn't discussed it in detail, is kind of timing of moving that project over to this, which I think is getting close. So that's the other piece that this municipal building committee would pick up the oversight of that project as well.
Right, so we've still got the rec center over there under us here eventually, and also the communication center. That's still gonna be coming up, so. We can, if you want, we can set a meeting date, and if we don't need it, we can always cancel it, but is everybody available on the 19th of December?
What day is that?
Thursday.
Oh, okay, just making sure.
Yes.
I think I am.
Rod?
Yep.
Okay, Jim?
19th? Yep.
Okay, so why don't we tentatively set up a meeting for the December 19th at 8 o'clock here. If we hear from Christie or Ian, if we don't need the meeting, we can always cancel it. Kim? That's all set? Okay. All right.
Al?
Yes, go ahead, Christie.
Yeah, just for the committee's awareness, on December 12th, we'll be holding a public meeting just to give a more broad public update about the regional dispatch center, and so that will be in conjunction with the two other town managers as well as our design team. So I'll send something out to everyone so that you're aware of that meeting and you can attend.
Okay, thank you, Christie. Okay, is there any further? We have, hey, Sian, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Ian?
Second.
Second, Rod. All those in favor? This meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
We like this.